Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Revert Reaction, and today I'm bringing you a Lord Beerus, God of Destruction for the 7th universe, or just God of Destruction on his card, deck list. So this is one of my personal funsies deck, this deck and Gotenks. I don't really take them to the big tournament, but if I'm playtesting with someone for shits and giggles, this is my go-to for sure. So, we're going to start out like we always do with the battle cards, and at the very end going to the extra cards. I will say this ahead of time, this deck is not complete. There's a lot of room for improvement in it, but this gives you the general gist of it. The general gist of this deck is playing all battle cards that you can to be God cards, playing all the energy ramping cards, and the main way to play well with this deck is not to attack the leader, period. Just don't attack him. Get all of your energy up, get all your threats out on the field. There's some blockers in this deck that you'll see, and that's the main gist of it. It's just don't die before you get your big whammies out, or you get 16 energy. So we're going to start out with 4 Gwasus. Which is auto, is play this card, look at the top 3 cards among your deck, choose one god among them, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is just a good card to get another card in your hand, because you're going to be low on cards the majority of this game. I will say ahead of time, something that's supposed to be here, but I'm actually running low on them, and they're in my starter coup deck, is 4 energy boosted Majin Boos, which is going to help out with being low on draws a lot. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, this deck's not a complete perfect Beerus deck, mostly because most people don't run it. It's kind of a funsies deck, and there's different variations you can do with this. You can run just all gods and then all blockers and don't even have any heavy hitters, and just go for his awakened ability, which is to win the game at 16 energy. So keep that in mind. Up next is 3 Bulma God Tempters. This obviously is for the Whis energy ramp, or if you already have all your Whis in your hand that you want, you can do it to search out Whis Coercions, which is going to be important in keeping yourself alive. Up next is 4 Guardian Kais. He's a blocker, 1 drop, and also a god. And the god cards are going to get important later when we make it to the 7 drops. But this is just a very basic card. Hey, 1 drop blocker, saves you from taking a hit. Up next, this is not an optimal card in here, but it works because it's a god. This is mostly what I play as an energy. 2 Goku Blacks. I just kind of put this in here as energy, or if I absolutely need to, I can play it as something else. Because I'm not running the Zamasu in this deck at all, which I might actually look at, but I'm not at the moment. So up next is 2 Boost Attack Piccolos, which should be 4. You could swap out for these. Again, I'm running low. I do have 4 Boost Attack Piccolos, but at the moment they're in my starter coup deck, and I'm getting ready for a big tournament this weekend. So that is why they're not here at the moment. I'm play testing with starter coup, and I didn't want to dismantle it to re-put it together. And so up next is 4 Taunting Piccolos. And what's awesome about Piccolo is he's also a blocker, but his card in the bottom right, let's see if I can't get it in camera, it is also God. He is a Namekian and a god. So he goes into the whole god combo that we're going to be going over later, or actually here really shortly. But this is why you want to run Piccolo. He's a 2-drop blocker. He's not as cheap as King Kai, but he's also a god. So up next is 1 Whis Sacred Guard. Again, you can change this out for a few more if you'd like. I think he's pretty essential because he allows you to take a hit and not necessarily die or lose this card unless they really want to go after it. Also, by the way, this is a mono blue deck, mostly because blue has all the energy ramps, it has all the sensus, the objections, all that good stuff. So it's just mono blue because you're not really playing a whole lot of threats. You're just getting your energy up high as hell. Up next, as you could have guessed, is 4 Whis Resting Attendants. We all know, huge energy ramp card. It's great to get your energy up, and it gets you a free 10K on the field, which you'll have so much energy. The 10Ks on the field are just great to have. Up next, probably one of the more important cards in this deck, 4 energy boosted Beeruses. Why this card's important is because very early you're going to get a lot of energy. And what this card allows you to do is if the enemy plays a Gotenks or a Kale or something along those lines, you can pop it without necessarily having to go through too much effort. You can just pay 4 energy. You're going to have more than 5, and then you just pop it. The next card actually works. The next 2 cards actually work for the same reason. Up next is 2 Mass Saiyans. Again, field destruction. This deck is blockers and field destruction, and not even really using their double strikes or triple strikes, because you're not attacking them. You're wanting to leave them unawakened. Obviously, if they get a results of training off, they get a results of training off. But you're forcing them to get that results of training. And if that deck does not run results of training, they're in trouble. So, up next, another deck or another card that's used to absolutely take out other cards is Returning Evil Golden Frieza. I run 2 of those, and what I find a good combo to be is I'll take a Whis from my field, put it back to my hand when I play Golden Frieza, and then next turn I get to put another energy down with the Whis. So it's allowing you to put cards back in your hand. Another card that people do this with, which I don't have any in my deck, is Energy Boosted Boo. So again, you play this, put 1 back in your hand, you put one of their battle cards at the bottom of their deck, but then you are, and it kills everything underneath it, but then you are being able to draw more cards. Up next is one of the more important cards of this deck, if you're really going for that 16 energy win, which is the 7-drop God of the Gods Great Priest. His auto says, when you play this card, if your leader card is a god, choose any number of other god in your battle area and add them to your energy and rest mode. So all the Piccolos, all the Whis, all the King Kais, all those. If you're like at 13 energy or 12 energy and you need 4 or 5 more and you have all these battle cards that aren't doing anything, I would leave your blockers on the field, because remember, you're not going to have much of a hand at all. But like the Whis Resting Attendants, definitely put those in your energy just because. And then I think you can actually choose him yourself to put into the energy, which is just a free energy. Up next is kind of my spice card for this deck, which is the 7-drop Beerus, General of Demolition. He comes into play with the next card that I'm about to say. So, you know, his ability is he's a triple strike, and when this card attacks a leader card, your opponent may place 2 cards from their hand in the drop area. If they don't, they pretty much lose because they put all their battle cards and energy in the drop area. So he's really important when you play Whis, Judge of the Gods. I'm running 2 of these. He's a quadruple strike, and it says this card's attack cannot be, card and skill cannot be negated. And then it says when you play this card, if your leader card is Beerus, after your current turn, take another turn. So let's say you have both these in your hand, and you have 12 energy. Okay, play. You don't have to attack, but then guess what? Play. Oh, and then you get a 3rd turn. So let's say you left your opponent at 8 life. Attack. Okay, they get a lot of cards. Attack. Load up on this, so they're getting ready to lose. And then, I'll play Beerus. And you probably do that on the 2nd or 3rd turn. Probably the 3rd turn, unless you have a lot of sensors. But Judge of the Gods, absolutely incredible with the Beerus deck. And it's really not. I've been playing a lot of playtesting. It's really not hard to get up to 12 energy with Beerus, because all you're doing is blocking, ramp. You're not attacking the enemy at all, so they don't get a chance to awaken. They're just drawing, you know, minimal cards. So that's pretty much it for the battle cards. Up next is the extra cards, and I actually don't have these in order. Put these in order real quick. Okay, so first off is this one. Again, is kind of like a replacement for 2 Sensu Beans, or wait, Yes, 2 sensu beans, but it works at the same time, and that is I'm running 2 Xeno buttons. So this allows you to tap out and then, you know, Xeno button to get your energy back for the opponent's onslaught. Up next is the former mentioned sensu beans. I'd run 4, only have 2 in there because again they're in starter queue. Up next is something that I use more or less as a draw card because I don't have the Majin Buu, but this is Encouraging Presence Manaka. I'm actually kind of liking Manaka. I'm running 3 of them. The sense that Buu's better is then, like, for my starter coup, I can then play Kale and pop the Buu, but, or, you know, return it back with Golden Frieza. But Encouraging Presence Manaka gives your leader double strike. So if you're at a pinch at the end for 1 energy, same thing as Champa. Champa's vastly superior to this as far as the double strike, but you get to draw. So it's not a terrible card overall. Up next is 4 Whis. That's a given with this kind of setup. Blockers, negates. And then at last, I have only 2 objections. Realistically, I should be running 3 or 4. But that's about it, guys. That is my Lord Beerus deck. It actually playtests very well. It beats my Gotenks pretty consistently. My starter queue does still wipe the floor with it. But then again, I don't have this completely optimized like I was talking about earlier. So there's definitely rooms to make improvements on this, but I think this can be a pretty fun deck. I don't know if I would take it to regionals because almost all your games are probably going to go to time, but it's not a terrible deck. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, because I'm constantly putting up new videos. With Crossworlds coming out, I will be doing box openings, discussing the new cards, discussing what I think is going to be meta in the new set 3, what's going to get a buff, what's going to get a nerf, stuff like that. So if you guys enjoy content like that, if you enjoy seeing new cards as they're opened, and if you enjoy deck building, then make sure you guys leave subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment what deck you'd like me to do next. And if I have to rip apart one of my other decks to get it, I will. So yeah, or I'll use proxies. So, alright guys, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you later. Peace.